Buongiorno, and welcome to another Mike Loves Sicily. Today, we are traveling along the southern coast of Sicily and stopping at one of their most famous places, the ancient town of Agrigento. So it's literally impossible to talk about Agrigento without talking about the Valley of the Temples. And look, this is a must visit if you are passing through the area. This ancient Greek archaeological site dates back to the 5th and 6th century BC, when over a dozen temples once stood along this ridge. 2,500 years later, we have some of the most well-preserved Greek temples in the world, like the Temple of Juno and the magnificent Temple of Concordia. When these temples were active, they were used for spiritual ceremonies, artistic festivals, political gatherings, religious rituals, sacrifices, and feasts. And according to historians and archaeologists, these temples were actually very colorful, with red pillars and decorative details galore. These days, you can take a leisurely stroll down the long, old road and gaze at these majestic ruins. Or you can attend the Hellenic Music Festival in the summertime. Me and Valerio had the pleasure of attending this festival and had a great time. The temples at night are super cool, and honestly, they're great to see any time of day, any time of year. Now, I don't need to go in depth about the history of these temples. There are plenty of videos where you can learn all about it. I personally like the YouTube channel, Ancient Cities.
Reaching Agrigento at the other end of the island, we find a valley studded with temples, many of which are miraculously still standing.
And of course, there's Rick Steves.
To think that 2,500 years ago, two of the top cities in the Greek world were here in Sicily is another reminder of the importance of this island in ancient times.
But with those guys doing such a great job and in-depth coverage of the history of the temples, what should we get up to here in the ancient city of Akragas, as it was once known? Well, we will of course eat food. And who better to have lunch with than the fine people at Archeo Cuisine. For the past 10 years, Alessandra and Daniele have been running their ancient-influenced non-for-profit society, the Phoenicians. And besides dressing up and reenacting scenes with groups of people in ancient settings, educating people about the daily customs of the ancient Greeks, they also cook, eat, and serve ancient cuisine, which is what Archeo Cuisine is all about. So we stopped by Alessandro's family villa in the countryside of Agrigento to get a taste of some dishes of yore. On the property, they grow grapes for wine and olives for oil, which just happen to be two of the main focuses of ancient food.
Olive oil and wine. Yes. God's gifts.
Originally, it was a half for vineyard, this land, and we put the olives, and then we have the wheat, then the wine, the three main food you need to survive in your life, yes.
So now it was time for a taste, and we started things off with an Archeo beverage.
Okay, this is organic wine.
Organic wine,
yes.
Made here.
Made here.
Made here.
Just for you.
What kind of wine?
One is Grillo, another one is Nero d'Avola, and we mix together.
Okay, not quite red, not quite white.
Just a moment.
Yeah.
I'm not drink.
I'm not going to drink it. I'm just going to show. Okay. I'm going to show the color. Cut it with some water.
Yes.
It is basically what the British would call a fortified wine.
little water.
You should mix.
Little wine.
If you want to get drunk with your friends, then you drink straight.
Yeah, because getting drunk was considered a barbarian behavior, so that was something for the northern,
Still is.
northerners.
Still is. It's barbaric. Salute. Smells good. Yummy. Yeah, it's good. Want to rip on that? Yeah.
How do you like the Greeks?
It's like a toga part, you know? It's like a toga
Yeah,
part.
he's talking about.
We should have got togas. Okay, let's see.
Toga party. Do you want to taste, Will? Now, after a couple of pops on an empty stomach, it's a good idea to start having some food. And we started off by learning about an ancient condiment.
Underneath the layer of salt, we have basically fish and the fish guts.
Fish and fish guts.
Fish guts. I mean, some people, when they smell it, it doesn't smell it's not a very pleasant smell. So
So
this
it's a sauce?
Exactly. Just like
Okay.
today, we will use ketchup and mayonnaise.
Ancient
In-
ketchup here.
That's what they use on anything.
Okay,
Any bread, even cakes.
We got a simple hard-boiled egg here with a little of, what's the name of the sauce again?
Garum.
Garum.
Garum in Latin, garum in ancient Greek.
So I will give you, if you like the taste, I can put some more.
It's good.
As scary or gross as a sauce made of fish guts may sound, it's actually quite pleasant. Imagine a less salty version of an Asian fish sauce.
I'm putting ancient mayonnaise on everything, is what I'm doing.
Next up was a classic that started way back. Sardines with breadcrumbs, raisins, and pine nuts. Served on a bay leaf.
I don't even
And then you just pull the leaf out of the
pull the
mouth.
leaf out
yeah.
of the mouth.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, here we go. One bite?
One bite.
One bite.
Bye.
These guys used to hammer these big old bites. Okay.
Ecco, bravo. Così.
Correct.
Giusto. Com'è?
Mamma mia. Wow, really good, really good.
We have to understand that in ancient life, in ancient times, people ate herbs. Today, herbs are used in medicine. Make food thy medicine, the medicine thy food.
And there's some like extra health benefits.
Absolutely. Being, historical reenactors, so in a way we studied, we are geared towards the study of the day-to-day life of the ancient people. We figure out that, with food, you open up a new, a whole new world.
This whole new world includes the option to book a private culinary experience like these folks here did, and I encourage you to do. Back at our lunch, we enjoyed more sardines, and even more sardines, and some olive tapenade, and finally some pizza.
Okay, so this is the original pizza here.
That's the original pizza, which we call pita.
Una
Pita.
big pita, insomma, la grandmother of this.
The grandmother of pizza. Okay.
These ancient slices were topped with red onion, sausage, and of course our favorite sauce, garum. We learned that this focaccia was served at the earliest sporting and theater events, in the same way that the guys walk around selling snacks and beer at a ball game.
They walk down, they say,
Yeah, absolutely.
peanuts, popcorn, world's first pizza, right here.
And although some stormy weather rolled in, we were not going to let a little rain dampen our spirits.
As you can see here in Agrigento, it's turned into a little bit of a rainy afternoon. Not very typical this time of year in Sicily, but that's not going to stop us from having an ancient little sweet treat to finish off.
To finish off this delightful ancient meal, we had some familiar ingredients. A crispy piece of pastry with some ricotta cheese, but instead of modern powdered sugar, we drizzle honey and sprinkle some crushed nuts.
OG cannolo right here.
Oggi cannolo.
This is how they did it in the ancient Greek days, okay? Simple. Why do you need that phallic-shaped cannoli, Just have a flat bread and enjoy it. Ooh.
Crunchy.
It's a nice balance. That's right, it's great. Wow. Yeah? The guys here are salivating as usual. The camera guy's actually eating an original cannoli right now, if you can believe that. It's going into his mouth. He's spilling ricotta and honey on the camera. Sound guy audio, booming himself. We're gonna get a live reaction here. Thoughts?
Whoa. Very nice. It's clean.
It's clean.
Like you said,
Yeah.
It's not messy.
As we finally wrapped up a really fun day, it was time to say goodbye and say farewell to the Archeo mascot, Fennec, and give some final thoughts.
All I can say, guys, is holy cannoli. Well, if you're looking for an absolutely unique and delightful culinary experience while you're visiting Sicily, make sure to check out Archeo Cuisine, giving you a Phoenician, ancient, amazing lunch with a couple amazing people here. Well, okay, one more time.
When we were leaving, as you can see, the sun came back out. And with that in mind, it seems like an appropriate time to talk about the coastline of Agrigento. You see, Agrigento is first and foremost known for its ancient temples. Built by humans a really long time ago, but the next most well-known thing on the Agrigento tourism list is the gorgeous natural wonder known as the Scala dei Turchi. Now, you thought those temples were old? Well, these stunning white cliffs have been formed and shaped from the southern wind and seawater, and it's taken millions of years to reach this magnitude of beauty. The cliffs are made up of a soft rock called marl, formed through the accumulation of fine-grained limestone sediments with a high presence of calcium carbonate at the bottom of the sea. It got its name, Scala dei Turchi, which translates to Turkish stairs, in the Arab and Ottoman periods when Turkish pirates would often raid the Sicilian coastline, and these stairs made it easy for them to climb up to the mainland and attack the nearby towns. Not the friendliest way to get a name, in my opinion. Today, this is a very popular tourist destination, and as an extremely photogenic landscape, people love to fly their drone around. So you can find a ton of video of this place online. But obviously, this is a place you can't truly appreciate until you're there in person. And what makes it so special is that this kind of exact white rock terrace is only this well preserved in just a few places around the world. Another one of them happens to be just 27 kilometers down the coast at a place called Punta Bianca, another incredible vista. Now, according to me, this is a much more approachable and low-key, less touristy place to hang out, but with the same style, beautiful, smooth white stone. And it's very easy and very cool to climb around these rocks, take a nice hike on the ridge above, or just chill out and have a swim. To close our video, I need to shout out Agrigento's more traditional beach in the little town of San Leone, which is actually where we stayed, and where we caught one of the most beautiful sunsets I've ever seen. We also found the coolest little beach bar, where we had a couple of drinks and enjoyed some small town nightlife. So we leave you with all good vibes, daydreams of beaches and cozy Sicilian towns, with fun people and kind attitudes. Till next time, from Mike Loves Sicily, arrivederci e buona giornata. Ciao.
Abbiamo iniziato da casa mia, da Marsala. Ah, ci siamo stati un mese fa.